Okay, so I just wanted to go through all my various and sundry enclosures and the various forms and shapes they've taken. Starting with this is an old tarantula enclosure. If you look up arboreal tarantula enclosure or habitat, if you do a search for that, you might be able to find something very similar to this. I do believe this is 4 by 4 by 8 is what I think it is. And this one is my dimorphic jumping spider female. Moisten the regular maintenance, moistening the moss, which this has a drainage layer. It's got a soil layer, which also has springtails in it. And then, between the drainage layer and the soil is a cloth drainage layer barrier. And then I just have a sheet of moss, and it's dried moss that has been colored so it'll stay green, and just a few plants and some wood bits. She's a wild caught, so with her I do sometimes put in wild caught prey, but that's basically her enclosure in a nutshell. And she is hanging out, well, was hanging out right there. Oh, there you are. Hi, sweetie. And for the access, for the lid, I can take this top part off if I really needed to. I usually don't because she webs up here, obviously. But the front door access is magnets, little bitty magnets that have been hot glued. First of all, I took my Dremel tool and cut out a piece, and then I took plastic from a Haribo container. I love gummy bears, so it's one of their bigger. Dude, really? Acrylic hinge, also hot glued, and so it just goes in like that. We'll cover this one last. This one is an Eris militaris. He is right up upper left hand corner there, and I just hot glued wooden steps. This guy's also a wild caught. I got miniature doll furniture, servingware essentially, that I threw in there. Moisten the soil pretty good. I usually moisten the moss probably more so than you would ever want to. A single spritz does not moisten this enough because of the springtails, and I also have itty bitty baby mealworms in there, and a few tiny beetles. One of the things that I really love about him is he places his carcasses for me to clean up in the corners there. Uber cute, uber cute. And this, I forgot, I'm doing the blue bottle flies. These are blue bottle flies. And so I'm hoping that they'll hatch out and be happy. And I'll probably put in a few of the little guys, the melanogaster fruit flies. They still have some in here. Yeah, you're alive. And there are a few up here. I put a lot in with you. Probably a few too many. Did I get the plate too wet? I might have. Let's use the rock. Maybe, actually, I think I'll use the step. And hopefully that will hatch. and I can keep an eye on that. So basically, again, the plastic from the Haribo container. This is a 48-ounce mayonnaise jar. I used a hot X-Acto knife, which is basically a soldering iron with an X-Acto knife attachment. Flipped it over, so I made this magnifier, essentially a magnifying dome, just for the fun of it, because I love doing stuff just for the fun of it. When I was making wood bits and wood furniture, I'd broken a chisel, and so I just used that as an anchoring point for fish, just little plants that go in fish tanks and stuff. So this one's basically that. Again, drainage layer, barrier, soil, springtails, and moss. That's basically it on this one. And the T on the door is specific. Means that's the top. It only goes on one way. It's very specific. And I did make a video of all of putting one of these enclosures together, because basically these are all pretty much similar. It's a really long video, and I haven't edited it and put it together yet. I made little doll furniture and everything, so just some fun stuff. And this is Pookie. Come on, camera, you gonna focus? No? So this one's Pookie, and her decorations are also attached with magnets so that I can actually pull them out, clean out her webs, and I really can reach my whole hand in there. That was one of the key things that I wanted for all of these, is to be able to reach into the containers to clean them out, do maintenance, things like that. I actually carved her out a little tub, which she has used in the past, but right now she's chilling in the chair legs. This is Nermal. She's also a Regal jumping spider, Phidippus regius, that I got from Ophelia the Monster. You can find her on Facebook. She also has the House of Regal website, or you can order little spoods. And again, I've got plants for fish tanks that are just kind of attached here. Again, magnets, so that I can take these things out, clean everything up really good. And let's go ahead and give her her little fly. Which these may or may not hatch. Hopefully they do and give you your little fly. And also, I usually like to put a drop of water onto, onto their plates. Oh, I didn't mean to freak you out. But I haven't watered her yet. So I will show you how much water I put in. It's a little on the ridiculous side. It's definitely more than a spritz that you would normally do for most other enclosures. You can see a little tiny mealworms in there, and they're starting to get really big, so if they get too big, I'll take them out. The bottom step of both of these, the wooden block in there, the bottoms of the legs, that little wooden piece underneath the plate there, are all coated in wax to prevent rotting and stuff like that. And that's basically it for this. Okay, so you are all watered up. Like I said, that's a lot more water than you normally do. But really, with these doors, that's a lot of ventilation. So they really do dry out. After 3 days, these will be fairly dry. And then so it's a kind of a lather, rinse, repeat. And yeah, you know, a container, hot glue, some gummy bears, big box of gummy bears. You can cut that up and basically, you know, create a nice flush extension. But essentially, they have their own little foyer. And we'll go with that. Oh, and then this one. So this is also a wild caught. And I have another video that, did I upload it? Not quite yet, I think. I still need to upload it. But this is basically a 16-ounce deli container. She has just soil from the backyard and a layer of moss. There are also springtails in here and a few other worms and good things for eating, you know, the poop and cleaning up. And I recently added this, her little tower, which I'm so glad she webbed in, because she was webbing in on the rim of the lid, so every time I took off the lid I would destroy her web. And I don't want to do that. And this one I have to be really, really careful of potentially overwatering. It doesn't have as much airflow, so I'll just do a quick one with a drop of water on the plate. Come on, you're better than that. Shoot. But you can see springtails. There's... Is that a snail? Is there a snail in there? There's a snail in there! A cute little snail. And she's got a thicker web than normal, so I'm wondering if she's going to molt. Hopefully she will. She's the one that's missing her two rear legs, and of course I glued a little piece of cork bark in there, and then I added this stick for essentially the incredible edibles to climb up, but she can also climb up it too and go up and down and drink her water and stuff like that, because I'm not going to water inside the tower. There's no point in doing that. And for her, I will definitely add a few melanogaster fruit flies. Okay, have I discussed most everything? Yeah. So these are my enclosures with my spoods in them. My happy little spiders. I was, you know, since she shed, she had her final shed, so she has an epigium, epiginum. And I was hoping to get a male for her before the end of the season, but now it's really cold and the spiders outside are kind of hiding and finding their little nesting spots to overwinter. So you can use anything as small as a little deli cup, all the way up to a 48 ouncer. This one's probably similar to 48 ounces. You can also get creative with one of these guys, or two of these guys. I've seen people stack them up, one on top of the other, glued together, and of course with a opening for front access, which that's really important, is to have access that's not going to completely destroy their web, because they really hate that. Although I do clean out their webs from time to time. I'll go in and I'll just take out their web. Gives them something to do. Alrighty. Till next time. If you like the video, comment, click the like, and then subscribe if you want to. and have a good night.